Welcome back to Boring Reviews.
Boring land.
Oh, just kidding.
Blasphemer! Hello,
right.
Boring Review Nation!
And a pointless.
We know all things. Hello, Boring Review Nation! Gabe!
Ooh, Gabe's going through puberty. Nick here.
You know what? Little horse, been a long day. I gotta tell you, I finally figured it out. All I think about is Nick in the office, and then I always know where to point. See that?
And you know what I realized? It works both ways because the office is no. Oh, it's because we were on different sides last time. Oh man,
Get it together, Nick. Come on, get it together.
Failures.
Nick, tell everybody what we're gonna be watching today. What are we gonna be reviewing today?
So this is a trailer reaction that would have came out the same day when it got released. We're looking at Chhalaang. This is a movie directed by Hansal, Mehta, produced by AJ Devon, amongst many others. It stars Rajkummar and Nushrratt Bharuccha. And this is coming out on Amazon Prime, November 13th. So in just a few weeks. I tried to get this done with Jody and Chris when they were here and we were recording together, but the subtitles were really weird. I exited out, brought it back up. The subtitles were not working. I checked it today. I still have not seen the trailer, and the subtitles are working. So, I mean, go figure. I have no idea what happens. I'm not sure if they add it later on. I don't know. So we're late to the party on this one, but we still want to check it out. I want to say that when I was checking to see if there were subtitles working throughout the video here and there, I saw a cricket bat or a ball involved somehow. I'm not exactly sure, so that gets me excited. So we're going to check this out without any further ado. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you don't like and subscribe, then Gabe's going to cry, and then I'm going to cry. Just kidding. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this in 3, 2, 1.
हमारे देश में कुछ नमूने ऐसे होते हैं जो बस बड़ी-बड़ी फेंकते रहते हैं। खुद तो कुछ कर नहीं पाते, दूसरों को सिखाने लगते हैं।
रा बबलू, ऐसे क्या बना क्रिकेट मारना?
और जो सिखा नहीं पाते हैं,
चल आजा बेटा।
वो पीटी सिखाने लगते हैं।
Very good bowling. अच्छा सिखाया मैंने।
Yeah, I taught you too well.
टूट जाए बे, पीटी नहीं करवाने के।
बच्चों के फ्यूचर की चिंता है, इसलिए खेलकूद में टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करता हूँ मैं।
टू मैंने आज तेरे पीरियड्स चाहिए। अरे ले जाओ। थैंक यू भाई।
अरे मौज करो।
इतनी लड़कियां तो दिखा चुका हूँ इसको कोई पसंद भी तो आनी चाहिए।
जिसका टीचर ही ऐसा वो ढसो ऊपर से कुआरा।
कुआरा नहीं हूँ मैं, विधवा हूँ, विधवा। रंडवा। है जी, श्रीमान आप रंडवे।
हमारी नीलिमा ये आज से कंप्यूटर की क्लास लेंगी।
तेरी अखियों के जाले विच खो गया मैं।
ज्यादा फैंटम बन रहा है। मैडम को तंग मत करना, कोई शायद सुन रहे हो ना? हाथ पकड़।
नीचे कर।
अरे मैडम बोले तो नीचे कर लेना फिर।
फ्रेंड बनना है। दारू पिलाओगे?
That's not the girl from Gajini, is it?
थोड़ा
I
धक्का लगा
can't tell.
Maybe not.
इतना टाइम वेस्ट मत करो कि आप ये मुस्कुराते रह जाओ और भाभी को कोई और ले जाए।
बावली बूझ।
I am Singh. I am हुड्डा।
आज से तुमको सिंह साहब को असिस्ट करना होगा।
अरे मैं क्यों असिस्ट करूं किसी को?
तो बता सिंह सर भी कुरुक्षेत्र यूनिवर्सिटी से ग्रेजुएट है और कभी टकराए नहीं।
लानत है मेरी नजर पे कि आप मिस हो गए।
Oh, snap.
क्या कर रहा है? किसने सिखाई टेक्निक? मोंटू सर ने।
पकड़ ना तो पकड़।
क्या कर रहे हो तुम? टेक्निक ही गलत हो तुम्हारी।
और मुझे करनी ना ऐसी नौकरी जिसमें इज्जत ना हो।
तुम पूरी चीज नेगेटिवली देख रहे हो।
बेटा जब जीतना बस का ना हो ना, तो हार मान लेनी चाहिए।
माफी मांग सिंह सर से अब भी।
मैडम नौकरी प्यारी है, पर इज्जत थोड़ी ज्यादा प्यारी है। मैडम आपने इन्हें नौकरी पे इसलिए रखा ना क्योंकि आपको लगता है मुझसे ज्यादा बढ़िया टीचर है। इनकी और मेरी टीम का कंपटीशन करा लो।
Oh, nice.
और टीम भी पहले इन्हें बना दो। जो जीतेगा नौकरी उसकी।
It's like little giants.
Interesting, yeah.
अपनी गली में तो कुत्ता भी शेर होता है।
और सोचो हम तो हैं ही शेर, और हमारी गली में ना मास्टर, बाहर से आया वो शेर भी कुत्ता होता है।
Smack talk. So I love Rajkummar Rao. We like Gabe said, our introduction was Vicky, please. Vicky, please. And I've seen him in about, we saw him in Gangs of Wassper. I've seen him in about 4 or 5 films since. And he's just got a likable personality. He's got such a carefree attitude. And the guy can act a whole lot. Now, I was wrong. Not a cricket film, but cricket was involved. He's a PE teacher. And it sucks because this guy, I mean, he's a PE. He's trying to do the best he can. He's not coaching the Indian national squad or the Kabaddi national squad. He's doing the best he can. And here comes this guy who, knows this girl that he's liking and digging, and he can do it so much better. I mean, I understand that sometimes you're not going to be the best at what you do, even though you're trying your hardest. Gabe, what'd you think about that?
You know what I thought about it, honestly? I thought about all the friction I had with my coaches in the past, okay? I honestly did. This happens more often than you think, bro. And I first went to Post 51, which is Canyon Springs High School. And we took over the club team over there. And within a week, maybe 2 weeks, bro, me and the head coach were into it. Like, bro, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And you bring me on to coach the team, right? I wasn't even the head coach. But when you got somebody who's more knowledgeable, it's hard for somebody to sit back and say, oh, yeah, just do it your way. You brought me on for a reason. So you want my opinion or not. And I think it's that male ego where, you're going to go ahead and clash. And it is, I tell you what, it is so tough, in my opinion, being a coach, being a head coach, not an assistant coach. Because if I'm the assistant coach or, you know what I mean, whatever, bench coach in baseball, hitting coach, batting coach, whatever, ultimately the call's on you, Skip. You know what I mean? You brought me in here, so you want my opinion. You don't want to take my opinion, that's cool, but then don't blame me when we lose. And you have to almost, especially at the lower level, you got to swallow your pride a little bit, bro. And I literally got into it bad where I was getting ready to walk off the field or whatnot, but I had some commitments or whatever. So I was like, but I'm like, dude, you don't know what you're doing. So that happens often, bro, where especially 2 different philosophies. It looks like the one dude's like militant with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and I'm sorry. That is my philosophy, bro. I used to have kids running before practice, after practice. Kids knew every era on my team, we're running poles. You know what I'm saying? Which means you got to run from foul pole to foul pole. Kids were scared to death to drop a foul, to drop on my watch. And parents would complain.
Those on CFA can see why. I mean, you would hate the drops.
Bro, parents would complain to the head coach and stuff behind my back or whatever. And I'm like, you want your kids to be ballers or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I'm not here to babysit, man. You know what I mean? I'm here to do a job. But there's just different mentalities, man. I mean, I'm sure you played football in high school. You had those coaches that were nice and they were friendly, and you had those guys that were way too intense. Admittedly so, I'm way too intense, but way too competitive, and you probably hated their guts, didn't you?
I had quite the experience I won't get into, but yes, we had one coach that, I think this guy was in the Marines at one point, and he looks like he didn't even leave it 30 years later. We had another head coach who was kind of like a cool guy who was like, he was one of those guys that would work out and he would make the loudest noises, and he would bench press. He would cheat. He would hold it like at a diagonal, and he would bring it down and just like bring up one side. And I'm like, Coach, you're not doing it right. What'd you say? Nothing. But our team sucked. Our team sucked, and he barely ever swapped any of the players because he thought his first stringers, he was just dead set. Our first stringers are the best players out there. Not when we're losing 34-0. We can't do nothing. Anyways, don't even get me started on coaches. Coaches have got to be able to see. With this film, what I think of with what's going on here is you have the old adage, those who can't teach, right? Those who can't play, coach. Those who can't do it, teach. And that works. But when you're the coach and you can't coach either because these guys aren't able to hit the ball, and you have someone else challenging that, and you have, sure, there's always going to be someone better than me. But that's going to hurt your own ego where, yes, I can't play, but at least I can coach it. But now it's like I can't even coach it because this guy's telling him to do something different. I'm super excited. It seems like an interesting premise. Perfect for, Amazon. But the premise is, you get your squad, I get my squad. We're going to come together. I mentioned Little Giants. Great American Hollywood film that's, kind of a deep cut, came out in the 90s or whatever. Brother versus brother. The young small brother never made the team versus the Heisman Trophy player, right? Not exactly 4 touchdowns in one game, but he was Heisman in the movie. And they had their 2 teams, and they were going to battle it out to see who can be the coach of the local squad.
Hilarious
film, great characters, right? I hope this movie has great characters as well.
You're gonna be upset at me. Can I? Can I? I gotta be candid. I hated Little Giants. You know what else, bro? I hated Bad News Bears. I hated
Bad News Bears. That's fine, but Little Giants.
I'm telling you, Little Giants, Bad News Bears, Kicking and Screaming. All these movies where the coach that doesn't know anything and takes a ragtag bunch of kids and they beat the championship squad. That doesn't happen in real life. That team comes in and gets smacked. Get out of here with that.
You missed the entire point, right? You missed the entire point of the film. The guy who's the older brother, who is a star football player, Heisman Trophy winner, whatever. It doesn't mean that you're going to be a great coach. He's getting the coaching job because of his coattails, because of his fame. Doesn't mean he's the best coach, right? I'm not saying that Rick Moranis, his younger brother, is a better coach, but he was able to connect with his players. He was able to figure out what are his players' strengths. He was able to listen to other people. This guy, gum chewing or whatever, he was just his name, and he was out there to sell cars. And he would say to his wife, "You'll figure it out, honey. Don't worry about it."
I guarantee you that's going to be the formula here. The coach that's not as experienced is going to be able to connect with the kids, and because of his carefree attitude, they're going to, and I'm sorry, I can tell you right now, I'm not going to like it because that is just not realistic. Bro, the Division 2 or Division 3 team doesn't go ahead and beat the number 1 seed. It just doesn't happen, all right, cousin? This isn't Cinderella and the pumpkin turns. Those movies drive me crazy.
What's your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time. Yeah. Oh,
or just one of them.
One of my favorite movies of all time. What are you talking about here? Karate Kid. We're talking about
Karate Kid. Perfect example.
Rocky.
You think Daniel Russo has any actual chance of beating Johnny Lawrence? Stop it.
That's why.
Do you like Star Wars?
Here?
You think that's realistic? Do you like The Matrix? You think that's realistic? You like John Wick, where the guy can fight off 1 million assassins? You think that's this is a movie? This is a movie. It's supposed to entertain. And I'm hoping this movie entertains. I won that argument. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I know Gabe's a smart man, but how can you diss Little Giants? I don't care about Kicking and Screaming. I don't care about, the Big Green. I don't care about those other.
That's another one, the Big Green. Really?
Come
they had to go as a mascot, bro. They had to go as a mascot.
Icebox? They get beat up by this girl? Come on. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for checking this out. And until next time,
we know all things.